So hello everyone. I just bought this new fancy headlight cover for my BMW 1250 from Lone Rider, and so today I'm going to show you how to install this bad boy. This is everything that it came with right here. Everything that was in the box is laid out on this table. So here we go. I'm going to show you how to put it on. All right, first thing we're going to want to do is take all this clear plastic protective coating off. All right, first thing to note on this assembly, you've got this system here where these little pegs stick into those grommets and they push through. And so you can separate these. It takes a little bit of force to get them out, but if you work them, they will come out. And so I'm just going to remove the rest of this laminate here that's on here, this protective covering, and get rid of all that stuff. And this comes with this too. This is a clear that you can replace that with. Put these on just you don't want to get your fingerprints all over this stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these brackets, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. It doesn't look that hard, but I haven't done it yet. And oh, by the way, Lone Rider does give you really good instructions, and they give you a complete breakout parts drawing. Tell you what all the sizes of all these bolts and nuts and torque screws are. It's right here. Okay, so the first thing I've found that is wrong in the instructions is this little diagram right here has this castellated nut going down on top through a hexagonal cutout in the bracket, right? But it looks like they've improved this bracket since then, and instead of providing a hex cutout, they've just put a threaded insert in there, so you don't need this back nut. And I'm just gonna slide my bracket in here. You can see I'm just working it around. Nothing big there. Okay, and this time I'm going to go straight down underneath. Okay, and now this is underneath the bike, and you can see I'm moving the bracket up top, and it lines up just perfectly. So I'm just going to take this nut and install it. Okay, you can see I have it started. It's easier to start by hand, apparently, and that washer just sits really funny on that hex there, but it's the way that it's shown in the instructions with it like that. I'm just going to tighten, and this will be way easier with a driver instead of a Allen wrench like this. For this side, the headlight sticks in a little bit there, so it's hard, you can't get that by there. So what you can do is pull this back, and you can see it slides in there when you do that. Okay, it is big enough. I must have that one misaligned on this side. And both of these brackets are now fully installed. All right, this part was a little tricky to figure out. So this little thing here is a little piece of plastic they have in here, and it's hard to know where it positions because there's a hole drilled in it for that aligning pin to push through, and that's the way it has to go. There's also an aligning pin on this, but what that does is you can see that, and when this fits in here, it only allows a certain range of motion. So when it comes flipped down, it's going to, this little piece of plastic is going to stop this screen from continuing to rotate, because that detent pin is going to hit that back edge right there. So anyway, so you install those, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on. So one little thing I found here, this little piece of plastic, this is the way it should look. It was installed backwards when I got this from the factory, so I had to, it blew my mind. I was wondering how it was supposed to line up, and now it all makes sense. So I had to take that off, turn it around, and put it back on. So this is the way it should look, with the edge that has these two, the grooved out edge facing forward and down, and same thing on the other side. Okay, and now put the finishing touches on this thing. I got both sides in. I'm gonna tighten that. I'm just gonna get this kind of snug, not super tight. Okay, this in, and when you push these grommets, they're tight. So you just keep applying constant pressure, and it'll work its way through that rubber, and it'll give. But you have to, they're hard to work in a little bit. And all right, there you have it. Looks solid enough, feels solid enough. Let's see what it looks like with the lights on. Oh yeah. Nice. The whole thing about how this hinge mechanism works, that's all they show you. And you know, it kind of took me a few minutes to figure out how that little plastic piece worked in there, basically because the plastic piece was flipped around, so it wouldn't work. And I'm like, okay, what am I missing? But it wasn't me, it came from the factory that way. But I'd say as an install difficulty, honestly, I give this probably a 5 out of 10. It wasn't the easiest thing to install, maybe a 4 out of 10. Maybe people who have worked on this kind of thing a lot more than me would find it to be a lot easier, I'm sure. But the getting underneath, figuring out how that worked, first of all, because the instructions weren't exactly the way the bracket came. The instructions had you putting, and they included the nuts, they had you putting these nuts in this bracket right here. You can see they show a cutout in there, but there is no cutout that has a welded piece. So they've improved the bracket since, but they still included the nut. So it blows your mind. You're like, well, what do I do with this? And so that kind of stuff is a little bit annoying, but overall, the install instructions aren't bad. They're just not up to date. And well, that's that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. You help the channel grow, and I'll keep bringing content to show you how to do different things on this beautiful bike. So until next time, peace.